This is Rap the News. I was watching Brother Deshaun's video here, from beginning to the end, like he said. And, a lot of things that we are learning about our brother that we didn't know. And just like I said over here in this truth, we watch Deshaun like we watch TV. And so, not to go against anything my brother said, but my mom simply adores Brother Deshaun. Like every word that Deshaun says is golden. She loves his style, everything that he does, you know. And nobody else better not say that over here. But my mom simply adores Brother Deshaun, you know. And with that said, it's a lot of people that look up to you. A lot of people is watching you. A lot of people is seeing how you fare. We need to understand that as long as you was in the world doing evil ass shit, look where it ended you up before. You would say basically you were sitting there with a gun, right? And then now you have a little bit of knowledge, you know, a lot more knowledge, and look where you are now, you know. Um, and I'm gonna tell you like this, put an analogy to you. You are in the womb right now, and I'm telling you truthfully, you're in the womb, and what you know as life in the womb is not real. It's a process of you being born. So you are being reborn right now. You were implanted in the womb, but that wasn't your home. That was temporary, right? 9 months, or less, according to the sister that just had a baby prematurely. And you got to go through your difficulties, your bumps, and your bruises. And there's a dome around you in the womb called your mama's stomach. You know, you got to come out that dome into the light. And then when you come out into the light, it's a whole different world. And then you go from that world to the next world, you know. And so when you came out, then here go a whole new set of struggles and difficulties, you know. And we have to understand this with the difficulties. In order to get buff, when you lift weights, is you have to do something. You got to get under them damn weights. You can eat all the steak and potatoes all you want to, and you're just gonna end up fat. No, if you gotta lift weights with them carbs. In order, you gotta stay in shape. You gotta run. You gotta go to the gym. You gotta exercise. You gotta do calisthenics, or else you're just gonna get bulky as fuck. And a lot of us is going through this. A lot of us is getting bulky as fuck because of the stress. It's a lot of stress. A lot of people they can't. I tell everybody on this land, you know, this ain't for everybody, and it ain't. You know, the worldly people, the weak people, you are going to fall off. It's just a matter of time. This drives you crazy. This drives you crazy. You can't continue the lifestyle. It's easier to be weak, and so eventually you'll just fall off. And that has happened in my household twice. The weak people eventually succumb to the world. Just like the weak people succumb to the shot. These are the weak people. Whatever's easy, that's what they're going to do. When have God ever made anything easy? When it get cold, like I've been freezing for 2 or 3 days now. This is the third day I've been freezing, and it ain't like I ain't got a heater over here. I have a heater. I have two bedspreads on my bed. And thank God that I even have a bed. Thank God. And I can't get underneath the covers because I'm feverish. Everything is backwards, folks. So it's just like if you have a fever, it ain't and you shivering. It ain't get in some hot water or get under the covers. You're gonna kill your fool self. It's the opposite. It's freeze. Freeze until it goes away. So if you got a high fever, they're gonna dip you in some ice or something. It's freeze, and that's how the world is. It's when you go to God, and this would happen to me. The moment I opened up my phone book and I said, I'm a righteous person, but all my friends and family seems to want to go the wrong way. And God said, what? Don't be conformed to this world. If they want to go the wrong way, let them. It ain't like they ain't listen to me and I didn't warn them, you know. And I had to look at my phone book, and I had so many supposedly friends and family. My grandfather had 50 children. My grandmother had 20 children by my grandfather and someone else. But they had a lot of kids. And all those kids had grandchildren and grandchildren and children. And there's so many of us that we are running into each other, down there dating each other in different cities. We started off in Mississippi and Tennessee, and now we in California. And basically, I done bumped into a couple of my cousins that I didn't even know was cousins, trying to mac at them. And then somebody in the family say, you don't know who that is? I do not know who this is. Your family, oh shit. Didn't know that. That's your daddy's brother's sister. I mean daughter. Or your daddy's something's daughter. And I was like, damn. This would happen when our families break apart too. It's mass confusion. But again, nevertheless to say that it is the opposite. You know, you got to go through the hell to get to the heaven. You got to cross over hell to get to the heaven. You know, we are just passing through here. We are in the womb about to be born again into a new life. And I almost think this to a high degree. When God said we have to go through this fiery trial, we may be already going through it, especially us enduring in the wilderness. It's a lot of things that I just don't show on camera because it's just unnecessary, because it's life and shit happens. You know, we have some animal deaths, we have some the heat tear up all our plants. We had a nice lush garden, and next thing you know, the heat in the winter came and just destroyed it. There's no way of protection against this stuff. You know, we're trying to build some greenhouses, and you know, and hopefully that helps. We have to realize that our trees was getting burnt by the sun. The fruit actually dried up like prunes on the trees. That's how hot it got out here. That should tell people we have another heat source in the sky. These are some hard-headed ass people who don't want to hear shit, you know. And so, we, like, again, all the numbers that was in my phone book, I got rid of every last one. I said, okay, if I had to ask any of these guys for $500, out of all this friends and family, who can I get $500 from? And shit, that narrowed down to one person. That's what happened. So what does that tell me about all these hundreds of people that you got as friends and family? And not that since you broke you ain't worth a quarter, but it's like, damn, why is all of us doing bad? And then everybody driving a new goddamn car and wearing some shiny ass flashy clothes. Never understood it. And so, I tell my son this. If you jumped up in the air, Superman, and people was depending on you, Superman, you became, whether you wanted to or not, a sort of hero to them. And I remember my wife coming up to me and said, you don't have to worry about that. My son got it. And I was like, oh, okay. Okay. And he had the S on his chest. And then things get bad, and then all of a sudden, you don't want to fly no more. As a man, I don't have that privilege. As a real man, I don't have that privilege. I can't afford to get sick. I can't afford to die. I can't afford not to feed my family. I can't afford not to keep preaching the word of God, the truth. I can't let you down. Unless I have no energy like yesterday and the day before, I'm going to be right here, God willing, for everybody. And, a guy had a dream, and this is his brother Deshaun. This guy used to be a pastor, and he had a dream that he went to hell, and he was like, how am I going to hell? I'm a pastor. One reason he going to hell, he preaching a false doctrine, but the other reason that he was told by God is that you were preaching the truth, which means he really believed the shit that he was saying, right? And you stopped. You should have continued because there were people who needed your help. You was in line for people to hear you. And I, excuse my cold and shit. And now you're not. And that's why I'm sending you to hell. There was another guy, he had another preacher that had a dream that he went to hell. And this is true. And so he was asking, why am I going to hell? And he says, the way that you treat your wife. Treat your wife with kindness. You've been treating your wife like dog shit. Don't treat your wife like that. And I'm going to say this. How I run this household is fair and just. And I run it like this, by the Most High God. We are just going to go by the book. And whatever thus says the Lord in the book, thus we going to be doing. If things get a little too difficult for you, we can make some adjustments if your ass is weak. Because there's some weak people. They can't handle shit. That's why 2 is gone. And they was not a help. When they weak, they just hurt you on your land. So that's why they gone. Good riddance. I ain't gonna think twice about you. Hope I never see your face again. And that's how I am. Because you was here, you had the truth, you could have did what was right, you could have helped everybody, but you sat there and you did what was wrong. You sat there and followed your lust. You sat there and followed the world. And it's unacceptable. It's when you, as soon as, look, get back to that number while I'm telling you about the numbers that I had. Anyway, I can't get $500 from any of these people. I'm not trying to jump around, but that story is important. And then I was like, and this is God talking to me about them. I'm going in this direction towards God. And every time I look up, my brother is calling me to come drink with him. Now, we used to have a drink or two here and there. I am not coming to drink with you anymore. I know better than that shit. So no more drinks for me. Don't invite me to drinks. I don't drink no more. And then they'll stop calling you a lot. You won't hear from them in weeks or months. You're like, okay, what happened to you, bro? Well, the devil is mad through them that you stop drinking. You doing something right. And then you start noticing it a lot. The closer you get to the Most High God, the more the world hates you. The book says they are of the world and the world hears them. The more the world don't want to hear your ass when you are straight. No more the world demonize you when you straight. The more the world outcasts you when you straight. Now when you start faltering and doing something wrong, they all gonna come knock at your door. Brother, come back. Come back. Come back. Ask yourself, what did they do for you before? And why all this new interest in you? Why? What was this interest before? Are you still in that pagan religion? You mean of obeying God? Of course. Of course I am. And I ain't never leaving it. They ain't gonna call you too much after that. I had a brother, before that was a quote unquote friend. He was the first black guy that I known that was an atheist. Right? And we used to go to his house and drink and play dominoes and do all kind of manly crazy shit, right? He had the party house. And so this dude would get drunk all the time and just act a fool, go in the room and pass out in the bed, among other weird shit that he would do. But yeah, he would just do some weird shit and go flop out in the bed. And he seemed like a very intelligent, intellectual guy, you know. And I was like, dude, how do you not believe in God and you black? He said, well, I don't have no faith in God. I don't, you know, I don't have no belief in God. First black person I ever found. Now you can find a lot. But one day, um, he was on crack. Nobody knew he was on crack. I didn't know he was on crack. And he, I was wondering why he couldn't keep shit in his house. He when he got some crack with his money, he get a check because he was down there legally blind, and he go get some crack with that money, and then he go get some more crack with that money until he spent all of the money. Well, he met this girl, and they got married. Yeah, excuse me, it's damn cold. Yeah, he got married, and she went to work. He found her purse. He found the rent money. He found the light money. He found the gas money, the water money. Excuse me, people. And he went out there to the crack dealer and spent all that shit, right? And knowing that he probably would get a divorce or something when she get back, and he didn't spend all the damn money. Addicted. And then he said he looked in his pocket because he still wanted to get high. It wasn't enough. It was never enough. And he had like $3 or $4 left, something like that. And he said he went to the damn liquor store. Since he can't buy crack, he gonna buy some liquor. So this nigga went and bought some 40s, and he he on his way back to the house and shit. And the motherfucking devil, he said, appeared out of nowhere. It's funny how you don't believe in God, but you believe in that fucking devil. But the devil appeared out of nowhere and started chasing his ass. Just say 40 ounces was dropped and left, and his blind ass was hauling ass to the house. This motherfucker went to his house and shit, scared as fuck, the devil after his ass. And he ain't the only one with the story. I'm pretty sure y'all know people with the same story. He jumped in the fucking bathtub. He had a Bible somebody gave him, and the nigga baptized his own damn self and turned to God. And then after that, he was a party guy. Everybody loved him. Everybody thought he was so funny and so entertaining. As soon as he turned to God, nobody liked him. And that was a long, long time ago. Nobody liked him. Same as me. As soon as I turned to God, my family stopped associating with me. You will see him every once in a while to come to seduce you back to the world. Well, we're fine and normal people. Yeah, that disobey God. And you unclean. And you filthy around filthy McNuggets. And if we go out there to you, we're going to be damned and cursed along with you. And you got these people, you selling your soul at the last minute. We just about to see the kingdom. That's why it's so damn hard right now. Like, I say this story that's kind of like in junction with my brother's story here. When we was in Long Beach, we hated that fucking place. We hated those people. At least I did. My family was tired of being there. We was tired of being in poverty. We was tired of being on the county. We was tired of being on Section 8. We was tired of the inspections and all the paperwork and the county visits. We was sick and tired of that. And I said to myself, fuck this shit. I am moving to the fucking desert. Because somehow God guided me to that. And it was like some ads in the paper. And it was like, here's some land here for $2,000 or $3,000. You know, there's some acres of land for $2,000 and $3,000. And then I just start thinking, ooh, I could just put a septic tank down. I could put a fence around it. I can leave a big wide opening so we can haul materials in, and we can build, Israel. We can build. And I told my wife and kids, I said, shit, I got a plan, folks. I said, we moving to the fucking desert. Everybody down there said, oh, hell no. Hell no, I ain't moving. I ain't moving. Uh, my wife said, you can just divorce me. Because, shit, you ain't getting me out there. I ain't going to the desert. I even said that myself before. When I used to drive to Arizona, through Tucson, and all them places, I used to say, I would never, God is my witness, I would never move to the damn desert. Never fucking say never. You know, and I realize what the desert is doing. It's burning you. Right now, we're freezing to fucking death. And it's funny how he's freezing, and at the same time, I'm freezing for two different fucking reasons, but we both freezing. I was tired of being cold. You know, I used to freeze when I lived in Oklahoma. I used to sleep in some raggedy bed. And this is the Most High. Since you've been through so much shit in your life, these things don't seem to matter to you. You know, since you got your ass beat so much, these things don't seem to matter to you. You know, I remember I used to take these covers and I used to tuck them in the mattress real tight. And I used to put as many thin covers, because I have thin covers, in the snow. Windows busted in the house. No electricity, no heat, and the water was stolen. Well, I didn't say we did. Somebody broke the meter, and water was coming in, so you at least could use the toilet. That was the luxury of that place. I was living off a highway in a abandoned building by myself. You don't think that was lonely? My girlfriend, would go to school and steal food for me. You don't think that's humiliating? Yeah. So we go through it. She used to steal. If she did not come with her little half of sandwiches that she stole out of the cafeteria, and she stole this shit, or she hijacked it, she wrapped it up and shit, and she put it in there, we wouldn't have ate. Well, I wouldn't have ate. And even my girlfriend, somebody called me, because just like I said, if you down and out, you're gonna get kicked in your ass even more. Hey, your girlfriend is in the library with this nigga named such and such and such, and I hate to tell you, but you're such a good person. Yeah, she fucking up. Remember, his name is such and such and such, and last night she came back to the dorm with her shirt on backwards. So we know she been doing some nasty business with this dude. And then she comes in probably an hour later, knocks on the door. I'm heated, because they are telling the truth. And I said to her, Roger something just called. I said the dude's name. She watch this. Before I even said that, she had bought me this big ass damn juicy burger. It was a chili cheeseburger. It was huge. It was hot on a cold day. And she bought me these big ass damn seasoned fries and shit, and a big ass drink. Baby, I got some money. I wonder where you got that money at. And and I bought you something. Oh, I'm glad you was thinking about me. Uh-huh. I take care of my baby. Anything for you, honey. That's what she's saying to me. That's what she's saying to me. And then I said, well, Roger Sutton called. He just said he just got through fucking you in the library. This bitch turned white. She literally, I saw her face turn a color. And she got pale and sick. She was, oh my God, I feel sick. So I told the bitch he was on his way over here to discuss some shit. This bitch ran to the bathroom and actually literally threw up. She never thought she was going to get caught in shit. She was a slick ass bitch. Excuse my friends, but that's what she was. But, I took it on the chin. I went through a whole lot of misery with her, even though she fed me, folks. It's you can get good, but with that good comes evil, is what I'm saying to you. You are on hell, and you always got to remember that when you having fun in this world is because you done in the next one. This is Raptor News.